We've all seen them, right? Those chaotic, terrifying multi-vehicle accidents. Just trying to figure out what even happened can feel completely overwhelming. Well, today we're going to untangle some of that chaos and look at a really powerful legal principle in Scotland that's actually designed to protect you, the person who's been injured.
Okay, so let's just frame the problem. Think about a simple two-car crash. The main question is usually pretty straightforward. Who was at fault? But the second you start adding more vehicles, the problem just explodes. It's not one question anymore. Suddenly you've got this spider web of who hit who, who's to blame. It's a real mess that feels almost impossible to sort out.
But what if I told you that there's a single legal principle here in Scotland that just cuts right through all that complexity? It's like a golden rule, and it's there specifically to help the person who's been hurt. So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? When you've got so many people who might be to blame, how does the law make sure that you, the injured person, don't just get stuck in the middle while everyone else argues?
And here is the answer. It's a powerful idea called joint and several liability. Honestly, if you remember just one thing from this explainer, make it this. What it means is, if a bunch of drivers contributed to your injury, the law says you can hold any single one of them responsible for your entire compensation, 100%. So let's break down what this actually means for you in the real world. You don't have to waste your time trying to figure out if one driver was 60% at fault and the other was 40%. You just pick one of the at-fault drivers and claim your full compensation from them. It's then up to their insurance companies to go argue amongst themselves to get the money back. It really is their problem, not yours.
All right, so theory is one thing, but let's see how this actually works when the rubber hits the road. We're going to look at two really common accident scenarios to see exactly how this golden rule has your back when things get complicated. First up, the classic motorway pileup. You know the one? You're in traffic, everything's fine, and then bang! You hear it from behind. It's that awful chain reaction where one car shunts the next, and that car shunts the next. So in this situation, let's put you in vehicle C. You've been hit from behind by vehicle B, but vehicle B was only pushed into you because it was hit by vehicle A. Because of joint and several liability, you, sitting there in vehicle C, can make your claim against both the driver who started the whole thing, driver A, and the driver who directly hit you, driver B.
See, the way the law looks at this is actually pretty simple. It asks, but for that first driver's mistake, would any of this have happened? The answer is no. That first impact is seen as a direct cause of the entire chain, which makes that driver liable for what happened to you.
Okay, so that's a straight line pileup. But what happens when it's not so neat? Let's switch gears and head to a busy junction, where faults can be a much more tangled mess of different mistakes all happening at once. Imagine you're a passenger in vehicle B. You get hit from the side by driver A, who just blew through a red light. Then, bam! You get hit from behind by driver C, who is following way too closely. You've got two different drivers who made two separate mistakes, but both of those mistakes led to your injuries. The law says you can go after either one of them for your full 100% claim. And this is where you really see the power of this rule. It means you don't have to wait around for months while the insurance companies fight over who pays what percentage. You can get your full compensation sorted from one party, and then you let them deal with the headache of sorting it out among themselves. Okay, so we've got the theory down, but let's get practical. Knowing the law is one thing, but what should you actually do to protect yourself and your claim if you end up in a situation like this?
Right, here's a really common question, and it's an important one. What if you were one of the drivers, and you think, maybe I was a tiny bit at fault too? Does that mean you can't claim anything at all?
No, not at all. This is where something called contributory negligence comes into play. All it means is that if a court decides you were, say, 10% responsible for what happened, your claim isn't just thrown out. It's simply reduced by that 10%, and you can still claim the other 90% from the other drivers who are at fault.
Of course, none of this matters without proof. Evidence is absolutely king, and in a multi-vehicle crash, it's even more crucial. Dashcam footage is just invaluable here because it can show the whole sequence of events from different angles. And always get the police report reference number. That's the official record of what happened and who is involved.
So if you're ever in this situation and you're able to, these are your first 4 moves. Get the details from everyone involved. Names, registrations, insurance. Preserve all the evidence you can. Take photos, save that dashcam footage right away. Go see a doctor to get your injuries on record. And then get some expert legal advice to help you navigate the whole process.
Okay, so we've waded through all this complexity, different crash scenarios, legal rules, practical steps. So what's the bottom line? What's the one big thing you should take away from all of this?
It's simply this. The legal system in Scotland is built to shield you, the injured person, from getting bogged down in the blame game. The law puts your right to get compensated first, before all the arguments between the insurers. And let's just end on this powerful thought. Your number one job should be focusing on your health and your recovery. The law is set up so you can leave the messy job of figuring out who pays for what to the people who caused the accident and their insurers. Because in the end, it really is their problem, not yours. And what could be more empowering than that?